Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Okay, guys and girls, today will be one of those days where we'll be chatting royal family and a variety of subjects. As today, I am not bookworm, but Madame Battle Axe and ready for whatever is thrown at me. But to keep all and sundry happy, let's start with the Harkles. It is said that Spotify regrets the deal they made with Harry and Meghan. Well, no shit, Sherlock. £18 million or $25 million later, and all they got was one 30-minute podcast. Thus, almost $1 million per minute. But anyway, that is Spotify's problem. They are currently stating that they won't sue Harry and Meghan for their money back, but will do anything in their power to resolve the matter amicably, which obviously includes hiring staff for 6 months to help Harry and Meghan get their podcasts off the ground. In my opinion, if there was an award for Fools of the Year, Spotify would win it hands down. Harry and Meghan, as expected, will not ever accept responsibility and had to grasp at something to cover up their own inadequacy and therefore lashed out at Spotify and Joe Rogan for misinformation, in their opinion, with regards to the COVID vaccines and mandates. Of course, this is utter nonsense. In the United States, there is such a thing as the First Amendment, which allows for freedom of speech. And the First Amendment does not only allow for Harry and Meghan woke speech. In light of the First Amendment, there is absolutely nothing which prevented Harry and Meghan to go on Spotify and criticize Joe Rogan, and nothing preventing them from speaking their truth on a podcast. And thus, their argument holds absolutely no water whatsoever. Now that Spotify is offering to help them with staff and creatives to do their podcast, I hear that they have yet another excuse, namely that they do not want strangers in their home and that it would be difficult with the children around. I'm sorry, I just can't with these two anymore. They deserve the title of the world's biggest grifters and losers. Maybe, just maybe, the Harkles and Spotify deserve one another. It is darn obvious to everyone with half a brain that Meghan expected the first podcast to jump to number one, and when it didn't, she, as a malignant narcissist, felt embarrassed and no longer interested or prepared to do these podcasts. Add to that, that since the one and only podcast was aired, their popularity tanked even more. So if Spotify thinks that their money and effort will be rewarded by insisting the Harkles continue making podcasts, they can add stupid to their title of the world's biggest fools. For Pete's sake, listen to Tucker Carlson. In April 2020, Carlson's program surpassed Hannity as the highest-rated primetime cable news show with an average audience of 4.56 million. In 2021, Tucker again topped Hannity with 3.21 million viewers. Well, a couple of days ago, Tucker Carlson called Meghan a fake duchess from LA and referred to Harry as her brain-dead husband. He also pointed out that it's obvious that they are not as outraged about Joe Rogan as they pretend to be, as they are obviously not prepared to give up the money for the sake of their principles. Now, to add insult to injury, Greg Gutfeld branded Harry and Meghan a pair of deadbeats on a show called The Five. And his guest, Judge Janine Pirro, or Pirro, I'm not sure how to say his surname, Pirro, described them as pathetic and irrelevant. So, in my humble opinion, Spotify only has themselves to blame when all of this blows up in their pretty little faces. And if that is not enough, other stories about the couple are once again running rampant. One being that Meghan will only stay with the Queen if or when they return to Britain and will not stay with Charles or any other member of the royal family. Now, I have someone I admire for her writing skills, her honesty, and who I agree with more often than not. And she is taking Meg down a peg on Instagram. And I'll leave a link down in the description box. Now, today, I am prepared to stick my neck out and speak up and say or reiterate what she already said in a post. But at the same time, she was a little afraid to state it as fact, which is understandable. Now, I 100% feel that if the story is true and the insider told the truth and that it is indeed what Meg is demanding, then it is absolutely 100% elder abuse and exploitation, or alternatively, an attempted exploitation. And I firmly believe that Meghan, as a malignant narcissist, is fully capable to attempt to pull one of her scams on the Queen and to attempt to swindle her. And I absolutely pray to God that she will never again be allowed near or alone with Her Majesty the Queen. Now, if you don't believe me, well, just look at what she did to her father. She drained him of practically everything he had and then just ghosted him. So, any other argument, anyone? Okay, moving on. On top of all the shenanigans of the Harkles, it has now become known that beneficiaries of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust now have free access to Better Up lectures and mentoring. So, who's paying that membership fee or the subscription fee? Well, the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. So thank you, Queen's Commonwealth Trust, for still supporting your errant prince, and please do not lie to us again by telling us you cut him off. Okay? And of course, when we move on, the media is once again making everything about Harry and Meghan, even the official start of Her Majesty's Jubilee year and the commemoration of her 70 years on the throne on Sunday. Harry and Meghan are being blasted for not congratulating Her Majesty the Queen publicly, and now I am not advocating for Harry and Meghan, but it is true that neither had Will and Catherine, or Beatrice, or Eugenie, or Andrew, or Edward and Sophie for that matter. However, it has come to my attention that William and Catherine visited the Queen on Sunday or sometime over the weekend, so likely they congratulated her privately. However, this made me ponder something completely different. Are William and Harry really as happy about the possibility that Camilla may be titled Queen Consort as the media is trying to make us believe? I happened to find this Express article from December 2021, and in it, it states that Robert Lacey told Newsweek that he found out privately that both William and Harry are sick to the back teeth of Charles lobbying for Camilla to be crowned Queen Consort. So, who do we believe? I do not know, but the best I can do is to compare stories and go with the common elements to come to some sort of conclusion. Now, I know for a fact that as charming, as diligent, as loyal, and as handsome as William is, he is no one's fool and has a quick temper. I also know for a fact that there had been a number of explosive arguments between William and Charles going back as far as William's teenage years. And now I'm being told by a fairly reliable source that although there had been a sort of weapon silence between William and Charles, and it appeared as if they were growing closer, it is not currently the case, and that there is a clear division and discomfort in their working relationship in particular. I'm told that there had been a number of full-scale blow-ups with William vocalizing his anger and even raising his voice to Charles or storming off, and Charles just doggedly staying quiet, satisfied that in the end he will be king and do what he wants. Or that is at least the opinion of this one particular person. In particular, there was a huge blow-up in October last year with William walking out on his father. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, my source will never give me more intimate details as he has too much integrity and loyalty. But he did mention that Meghan and Harry's names were mentioned at the time of this particular disagreement. I don't, however, need a specific source in this matter or in this regard. It is common knowledge that Charles and William differ on their vision for the monarchy. It is said that William's model and reign would be closer to that of his grandmother's, whereas Charles's vision is indeed completely different. I already spoke to you about other issues within the royal family concerning Charles and his siblings and extended family. And I told you that something must have happened between the members of the family, as Edward is not around Windsor as often as he used to be. When it was discovered, poor Randy Andy was blamed, and when Andrew was photographed at Windsor, it was said that Edward was trying to avoid Andrew. At the time, and if you go back in my videos, you will actually find this to be true. I said that I doubt that this was the case. Windsor Great Park is huge and they can easily ignore one another and not speak. And I told you at the time that it is my guess that it is about the Duke of Edinburgh title and the position as Ranger of Windsor Great Park, and I wasn't far off the mark. I was indeed told a week or two ago that there was a blow-up about the issue and that Edward felt that him and his family are being pushed out and sidelined by Charles and his group of sycophantic supporters and aides. At the time, I thought, okay, it is basically more or less what I said anyway, so I'm not going to repeat myself and explain myself in so much detail, so I left it alone. Once again, when Camilla was given the National Theatre patronage, I said that in my opinion it should have gone to Edward. And to make it clear, not because I don't like Camilla, but because I know that it is where Edward's passion lies, and that he worked for Andrew Lloyd Webber at some point, and is thus the most qualified. Also, because Camilla already has over 90 patronages at the age of 74, and Edward just about 70, and he is indeed much younger. Well, now it came out that I, and my source, I must say, was indeed 100% correct, as our discussion was now being confirmed by Richard Eden, who recently said that the Wessexes are now convinced and certain that they are being sidelined by Prince Charles, and that they have come to the conclusion that they will be cut out completely when Charles becomes king. According to Richard Eden, the Wessexes are now in the process of investigating other avenues for them to serve and work. It is the opinion of a number of royal watchers that Charles had played a big role in effectively cutting Andrew off prematurely before there is even an outcome one way or the other in his civil case versus Virginia Giuffre. Thus, if it is true that there is now a rift between Charles and the Wessexes, then I am telling you, and you're welcome to note this day and date of these words so we can one day come back to them, that the monarchy is in big trouble, as the only working royals left besides Charles, Camilla, William, and Catherine is indeed now Princess Anne. And she herself is 71 years old. And added to that, she herself had been very quiet since she and her husband had been in quarantine over Christmas. I also fully agree with expert and historian Dr. Robert Morris that if this is the way Charles is going, he is indeed destroying the monarchy from the inside, or at least that is my interpretation of Dr. Morris's words. What Dr. Morris did was he compared the British monarchy to that of Spain, Denmark, Norway, and the Netherlands. Dr. Morris pointed out that the size of the royal family of Spain is very likely the very reason why Spaniards are pretty cold about their monarchy, as it is all about visibility and what the monarchy can do for the population and society. Denmark and Norway have populations of about 5 million, Sweden 10 million, and the Dutch of almost 20 million. In 2021, England had a population of 56.19 million, plus the population of the crown countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and others to contend with. According to Dr. Morris, it is thus not feasible or safe for Charles to try and emulate the monarchies of Scandinavia and Spain. So there you go, guys and girls. I've done some research. I've given you some information. Take it and make of it what you will. I still have a lot of research to do. There were a couple of incidents over the last few days, and I have been working with a number of other people to try and make some sense out of the information that I received. So I'll be back sooner than you think. Until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.